talking to the journalists.
Oh no,
It's
I don't
okay?
mind. Yeah, I mean,
Fine.
do you know what? It's like, obviously I'm from England, and where you're from, you never like the journalists where you're from, you know.
Oh, okay, I see.
When you go away though, it's different.
That's right.
It's different
Yeah.
questions even, because in England people not want you to fail. That's such a terrible thing to say, but I mean in England people are just waiting for you to mess up. And whereas when you come away, especially Europe, you know, Europe more than anywhere that I've been, everyone's just so warm, you know, and lovely, and, you know, just interested in music, and just even the questions are different, you know, because people here in, you know, Italy, they care about music. They're not really interested in who's your boyfriend, or because you don't know where I'm from or the people that, you know, so it's good.
I don't want you to mess up.
Oh.
I want you to be big and wonderful.
Oh.
And stay so personal like you are. You are so special. I like your album
Oh.
so much, Amy.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
I really
you.
mean it. And I hear a lot of music, and I know the difference, you know, and I like it.
Thank you.
Later I will tell you which part I like the most.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I read where you're from, and I tried to imagine what kind of life you had before you started recording.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't mind, I would love to hear something from your family. I heard that your father is a cab driver, is that right?
Yeah, he's a cab driver, and my mum is a pharmacist, or like an apothecary, like.
So she's working in a drugstore or something?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I see.
Yeah, so, yeah, I don't really know what to say about my family. They're not that interesting.
Well, I know that I saw a video copy of your visit at the Jonathan Ross show.
Okay,
where
yeah.
you sat on the sofa.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, this is as well for the interview. For the radio. I'm sorry. I'm writing and I'm working as well for the radio. So
Cool.
that's why I have this microphone.
Okay,
so
cool.
close.
Yeah.
Okay. And you were telling that there was a lot of swearing around, like the way cab drivers used to talk, like the language he uses.
Oh, my dad hasn't got a very nice mouth, no, but none of the cabbies do, really. He's not alone.
No, absolutely not. No, I would love to know how much that influenced you and how much that encouraged you to find your own voice, to find your own language, you know.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't think my dad had that much to do with it. Firstly, because, I mean, he hasn't been a cab driver for that long. Shall I wait? Oh, wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. He hasn't been a cab driver for that long. He's been a cab driver for about a year and a half. So it didn't really have that much influence on me. But I think living in the city, because I've always lived in London, I think living in the city and being one of billions of people, I think that encourages you to want to do something to make you completely stand out from everyone. Excuse me. And yeah, I think that's what it was. Just, I think being in such a large city, that's, I mean, what drives you to stand out amongst so many people.
And how did you get in touch with music? I mean, what kind of records were around the house when you grew up?
I mean, my dad's a great singer, and I learned to sing from stuff that he liked, but it wasn't until I was a bit older that I discovered that. I mean, when I was a little kid, he would be playing stuff like Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett all the time. But it wasn't until my dad had left my mum, like till he'd moved out, that I really, really got into it. It was more like my brother's music collection that I really grew to love and grew with, you know. But my dad's a great singer as well. My dad can really sing.
Is he a professional musician?
Oh, no, not at all. But he's just someone who can really feel his way around a song. I mean, I've done gigs where if my dad's there, I'll get my dad on stage and I'll get my dad to do a song. He's great.
Okay.
He's great.
Wonderful. Maybe he's going to record himself someday.
I think he wants a record deal.
Yeah. So what is his speciality? I mean,
Jazz.
what is?
He's like Sinatra. That's all he sings really is Sinatra tunes. But he's great. My dad's got a lovely, lovely singing voice.
Interesting. And how old were you when he left the family?
I was about 9. My brother was 13, so it was hard for him. It wasn't that hard for me. But it was hard for him. You know, I was young and I hadn't gone through puberty, obviously. I was 9. So to me, it was kind of like, cool, my dad's left. I can wear whatever I want now. I can wear short skirts. I can wear makeup. I can swear at my mum. I can swear generally. I can swear. I can do whatever I want. I can whatever. And I'll never get in trouble for it. And that was, you know, I went through a long period of really being horrible to my mum just because I knew I could, you know, because my dad wouldn't be there to shout at me. But yeah. Funny that. It didn't have that much negative influence on me, having my dad move out. It was more better than worse. It was good to not have him around. I don't know why. It sounds horrible, but it was good.
Yeah, it sounds strange because usually one say that especially grown-ups or growing-ups, teens or pre-teens or post-teens, I don't know, they need kind of borders. They need someone to say this is okay and this is not okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, what was with your mother? I mean, didn't she say stop it?
Oh yeah, all the time. My mum was the strongest person. Like, but to me, I was just like, whatever. It's my mum. You know, I was just a real shit about it. But I was a teenager. Teenagers are little shits. But I was really horrible to her. And yeah, she'd tell me all the time. She'd be like, don't talk like that. Shut your mouth. Don't talk like that. You know, like all the time because I had a really foul mouth. But I just wouldn't listen to her. And I think she realised that I was going to do whatever I wanted to do. And I would respect her as long as she respected that I wanted to do whatever I wanted to do, which is terrible. But I was like 13 or 14. But, you know, I was such a terrible teenager. I was really bad. But, you know, everyone gets to that age where they realise how badly they treated their mother. And they're like, Mum, I'm so sorry. I'm going to turn it all around now. I'm so sorry. I was so evil. I think everyone gets to that age.
I guess there's a lot of competition between daughters and mothers in these particular years.
Yeah. That, you know, if you're a teenager, life, you know, teenagers are all so dramatic and that, like, life's so hard and they haven't even started their life yet, but it's so hard being a teenager. It's horrible. It's horrible. Like, your hormones are everywhere. It's horrible to be. I would not be a teenager again if someone paid me £1 million. I wouldn't do that.
Do you feel adult now?
No, but I feel like I'm past a certain age of. I feel like I'm past a certain age of immaturity. Although I'm still immature and I always will be immature. But I feel like I'm past the worst of it.
Yeah. When I read about your the musical heroes you had, or what people you really like, there comes a lot of people up that are nowadays quite old, like Dana Washington or Ella Fitzgerald or Billie Holiday. I don't know. Had you anything to do with Billie Holiday, or was she not too much?
Not really. I mean, my favourite singers are Dana Washington and Sarah Vaughan. They're my favourite jazz singers. I liked Ella Fitzgerald when I was younger, but she was too much of a straight singer for me. She would just Ella Fitzgerald. Okay. She was too much of a straight singer. She would just sing the song like it was written, and to me, like, it's nice to do that, but it's not really interesting, you know. To me, I was always so much more taken by the way Dinah Washington would completely flip a song around, or the way that Sarah Vaughan would sing under the song and over the song, but never quite give you what you want. Like, she kept you on your toes. I just love that, you know. That's what singing a song is to me. It's not really about singing it as it was written. You know, you should always try and do something different.
how did you discover them? I mean, were they part of the records in the house, or did you find out yourself?
I think my dad always listened to Dinah Washington, but I didn't really understand who she was when I was a child. It was more when I got to about 13 or 14. My brother had a couple of her records, and I heard them, and I was like, who's that woman singing? Who is that? Like, who is that person? And then Sarah Vaughan, I came to a little bit later. I must have been about 17 or 18 when I first heard Sarah Vaughan. And I was astounded by how much she sounded like an instrument as opposed to a voice. And like I said, she would sing over a song, she would sing under a song, but she never quite gave you exactly what you wanted, and it kept you anticipating, you know, really did. So that's why I love those singers, you know, not because they had pretty voices, but because they just took it and reinvented it and smacked it.
Yeah. I mean, how was it for you to have these persons in your mind, because they are not your age, and usually teenagers or becoming musicians or becoming singers, they look for orientation in their own age, peer group or something.
Yeah.
How was that for you, and how did your friends react to that?
I think to me, I just could connect with it because it was at times emotional music. I mean, the stuff I connected to always, and stuff I still do, is stuff that, you know, lyrically pure, but something that would flip around and really engage you, you know, like something that's but jazz is a really personal music. But I've always loved hip-hop, I've always loved R&B, and because jazz is so personal just to me, I could always have other music with my friends, you know. So we were never in situations where they wanted to listen to Madonna and I wanted to listen to Ella. It wasn't really like that. It was like, my jazz was for me at the end of the day, when I was by myself, when I was alone, it was my project, not my project, but that was my real love. Like, that was my boyfriend for so many years, that I didn't really know anything else than to go to what I loved and learn from it, you know. But I always had other music with my friends. We always loved all the same stuff apart from jazz. But jazz is such a personal music, you know. It's hard to get into jazz if you don't like it. It's quite excluding. I understand that. I do understand that. So, you know, I'm lucky that I always loved that same music that they loved.
And how did you, or did it take you, or did it need a lot of courage to grab this kind of music and put your own lyrics to it? Because your lyrics are so much into now. I mean, it's a now world you're describing. Whether you have the wives of sports men, or whether you talk about persons you meet on a party, or the whole struggling with your boyfriends. Okay, love always is the main topic.
Yeah.
We know all that, but you're telling it from your personal point of view, and it's absolutely a now viewpoint. How was it for you to get these things together?
I guess, I mean, I'm just someone who is comfortable, at my most comfortable, when I'm pushing myself in all directions. So, I mean, I could have done an album of jazz standards. I could have done 4 albums of jazz standards in a week. Like, that's not pushing myself. That's not working. To me, it was important to push myself with the guitar, with the melodies, and obviously with the lyrics. Like, the lyrics would take longer than a lot of the rest of the stuff because they're so important. You know, like, to me, you know, I'm a jazz singer, but to me there's, you know, people try and lump me in with these jazz people, Jamie Cullum, Katie, what's her face? Like, yeah, like, people, you know, people try and do that, but, you know, I just want to, the stuff I write, you know, there are, you know, you hear they don't really write songs. I mean, Kate doesn't write songs, but Jamie will write a song. But it's like Jamie will try and write a George Gershwin tune, but for now, and it's like George Gershwin is dead. That whole style of music is dead. They are beautiful songs. They will stand. They are timeless. Those collection of songs, Cole Porter songs, Irving Berlin, you know, those kind of songs will live on forever. And the poets of today, the people like that of today are like Busta Rhymes and Nas and Mos Def. You know, it's rappers. That's, you know, jazz has evolved somewhat, in some cases, into hip-hop. And those are the poets of today. You know, so when I write a song, I don't really think I'm going to write a pretty song now. I get a lyric and I get a melody and chords, and I leave them to one side. But when I write words, it's important. I write it like it's a rhyme. I write it like I would write a rap, I guess, because I sing it the way I would talk it. And that's what is so important to me. It's important to challenge myself, and I just want to be saying something on every level. I don't want to just have a simple message like, baby, I love you, like a shanty. I want to have messages on every level. I want to have a lyrical message and a musical message and a melodical message. So it's important for me to really challenge myself, yeah.
I mean, that's the directness of your lyrics, I get that. And that's what I like about, I mean, there's this one song, I mean, Stronger Than Me. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's... is it for you the hit song from the album, or how do you see yourself this song?
I mean that's the only song that has won an award. I mean, that song won an award, so I guess it would be the hit song from my album. But sorry, can I just look at this? Is this the Mercury list?
Yeah, it's just the nominees, but I know that you won it.
I haven't seen it yet.
That's the list of the people who were nominated, and I have no idea who got it.
Really?
I only know that you got one.
Oh no, it hasn't been yet. When is it?
I thought it was yesterday or the day before yesterday or something.
Right, hang on, sorry. Oh, he said me first. Cool. He said me first. He said others who have been shortlisted are far more deserving. Amy Winehouse. He said me first. Sorry. I was because I haven't seen the list of the nominees yet. I know my friend Ty is up for it. I knew that because he's a really good friend of mine, and I knew Joss Stone and Keane were up for it, and Franz Ferdinand because they made a wicked record. Yeah. But anyway, sorry. What was I?
Who was it? The wicked record?
Ty made a wicked record.
This Upwards, this has an album? I don't know them.
That is amazing.
Really?
He's a rapper. British rapper. He's really representing Britain. He's wicked guy. I'm going to do a tune with him. He's like one of the best rappers in the whole of England.
Great. Good to know. I will check him out.
Yeah, he's cool.
So
I hope it's on release here. I hope you can get it here because it's really good album.
I see. Well, it's I think it's very charming of Robert Wyatt that he always said these because he's
really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, he's an old decent person.
And
he's kind of a respects person, you know. It's like you don't just add him to a list of some newcomers.
It's really so, I can't believe it. Yeah.
Okay, back to the question. Stronger Than Me. I mean, these lyrics you wrote for this song, or this whole song. I mean, it's so. I guess it's the way you think. It's the way you act.
Yeah.
It's the way you deal with a relationship or with a love. I mean, I don't know how to call it. But what's the idea behind it? Because on the other hand, you could say, well, isn't that the typical female role that the guy has to be stronger than the woman to guide her, to support her, or whatever? Yeah. How do you see that?
I guess I was with Chris for a while, and it just did get to the point where I would have to come in every day and be... It wasn't even that I would have to be the man and he would be the woman. I mean, that was the obvious thing. He'd come in from work and I would comfort him. Like, every day, every single day, I would have to comfort him. And I became, you know, it was more like I was his mother than I was the man and he was the woman. But I was the aggressor in everything, in sex, in conversation, in what we did, in the way we communicated. I was always the aggressor, which is fine, but he was so much older than me and he'd been through so many much more relationships than me. And I just thought to myself, this is not what it's about. I cannot be comforting this man all the time, and I can't be his mum. I'm his girlfriend. I can't be his mum as well. I just didn't really understand it. And we'd been together for a while, and physically we were so compatible that it took so long for me to understand that we weren't supposed to be together because we were so physically compatible. But when I did realise, it was just like that. It was like, ding, like a bell. I was just like, I'm acting like the man and you're acting like the woman. And not to say that traditionally the woman is weak and the man is the strong one, but, you know, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm for a woman, I am quite masculine as a woman. Not masculine, obviously. I have a very, very strong feminine side, but I'm a very straightforward person. I don't really fuck around. I just, you know, do what needs to be done for everyone, and, you know. But he was like a woman. Like, he would bottle things up. He wouldn't just talk to me. He wouldn't just say, this is what my problem is here. He would bottle it up until I did something so bad that he would just scream at me, and I'd be like, where did that come from? And he'd be like, well, yesterday you didn't put the milk out. And I'd be like, well, why didn't you tell me that yesterday? What's wrong with you? Like, so yeah, after a while I just realised that was what was going on, was that I was the aggressive one or the male one, whatever, and he was just being so submissive the whole time, you know.
Yeah, I understand that very much. I mean, I totally understand it. But I know as well that especially men are kind of, reacting to it. Yeah. Reacting not only to the music and the way you sing, it's also the words that they really get like, what does she want?
Yeah, you know? Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
What is your experience with this song? I mean, the reaction from boys, men?
I guess, I think... It's been more about that line, are you gay? I've had more about that than men saying, what do you mean? Men are strong. You need a real man. I haven't had any... what I really want, I've never had this happen to me, is a man come up to me and go, you know what you need is a real man. I'm a real man. Like, no man has ever said anything like that to me, ever. And they probably never will. But... You know, that's why I write songs. I write songs so that someone will come up to me and go, you've been with dickheads and I'm a real man, you know, and I'm going to sort this out for you now. We're going to have a really good 6 months together and then I'm just going to leave you alone. But, you know, it's a weird thing. Yeah, I've had journalists say, well, why, you know, like gay men. Like, I've had interviews with, like, Gay Times, The Attitude, where they've said to me, what did you mean, are you gay? Is that saying all gay men are weak? And I'm like, well, no, that's saying that, do you want to have sex with me or do you want to go and fuck boys? Because I don't really understand anymore why you want to have sex with me. Why am I always the one trying to have sex with you? Do you like boys? Like, that's what I was at the point. You know, I wasn't saying, are you gay? Like, you're a pussy, you're gay. You're a gay man, you're a woman, really. It was me saying, why won't you have sex with me? Do you like boys? Because, you know... I mean, he was so pretty, my ex-boyfriend. He was so tall and slim and blonde with blue eyes. You know, we'd walk down the street and more men would look at him than look at me. Yeah. He was so pretty. So, yeah, if I got in any trouble for that song, it was from the gay men.
Yeah. Okay, I tell you which part that struck me. You tell this story about this guy with a tea bar, with a beastie tea.
Yeah.
You know? You found him attractive and he ignored you because you were too young.
Well, yeah, it was Chris. That was Chris that I was writing about. That was all the songs about men are all about him.
Okay.
Every song on the album that is kind of related to a man, apart from the one about my dad, obviously, is for Chris, which is really weird, but it just happened like that because I liked him for about a year before we got together, which was when the first song I wrote, which was "You Sent Me Flying," and then it like progressed. But I liked him for so long before we were together. You know, I was really obsessed with him. And when I wrote "You Sent Me Flying," I'm the kind of person that it takes a lot for me to get a song out, and a song has to grow. I can't just write a song and have it finished in 10 minutes, or I've done that, but it's very rare. You know, a song that I really feel a lot about, like "You Sent Me Flying," it usually takes one big instance of something happening that I can write from, but with "You Sent Me Flying," it was two big things that happened with me and him. The first thing was when we were outside, because I used to, like when I say I bribed you downstairs with a Marlboro, like he smoked rolled up fags and I used to smoke real Marlboro Reds. And I knew that he used to smoke Marlboro Reds. So on our little cigarette, when I used to want a cigarette, I used to be like, "Chris, do you want a real fag? Come on, let's go for a fag." And he'd be like, "Okay, come on, let me just make a rollie." And I'd go, "Come on, have a real fag," like that. And he'd be like, "Okay." And I remember this one day we went downstairs and he was talking to me. And I said to him, "You've got a really sexy voice." And he just took it really badly. He kind of got awkward about it. And he was like, "I know you like..." I'd liked him for ages and he knew that I liked him. And he was like, "Look, you're a kid." And he just made me feel really small, basically. So I thought, it's never going to happen. I started writing the song then. And then I finished writing the song when we went out for a leaving party for someone at work who was leaving. And we went home not together, but the same way. And he knew that I liked him, and I knew that he knew that I liked him. But I thought it was never going to happen, and I thought we were just going to be friends. And we were walking home, and the thing with him was he would never talk straight to me. That was another reason why he was like a woman. He wouldn't just say what he meant, ever. He would talk around it for ages. And basically he just... Wait, hang on, I've lost it. I'm so tired, sorry.
Oh. He was waiting for something. Or why didn't he say something?
Oh, right, yeah, so sorry. We went home together and we smoked a joint on the way home, and we were walking towards the same station, and he was talking to me about all this stuff, but he doesn't really ever talk straight, like I said. I thought he was saying, "You're too young for me, it's not going to happen, but you're really cool, you're a cool girl, and we're really going to be friends for a while." But what he was actually saying was, "Don't worry, it's going to happen, you're too young right now, but you and me, we're going to do something. When you get to a certain age, we're going to be friends, we're going to be really close." But I didn't understand that. I thought he was saying, "We're never going to be together, but you're cool, I'll be your friend." And so that's when I went home and I finished "You Sent Me Flying." That's when I finished it. Because I was just so... You know, I say things in that, like, I've never hated myself for my age so much. And it's true. Like, I was just like... I remember being like, why am I 17? Why am I 17? And then, literally, the week that I turned 18, and like I said, because I thought he didn't like me, I went off him. I just thought, it's never going to happen. I'll just be his friend. Whatever. He's so sexy. I really don't care, though. I'll just be his friend. So I stopped liking him. And I started seeing other guys, and that's, of course, when he started getting interested in me. So it was cool. It was cool after that. And he's such a lovely man, you know, like, even though we've been through so much shit together, he's such a lovely man. He deserves the best.
Okay. So are you still friends now, or...?
Yeah, I'd like to say we're still friends. He moved away. But I'll call him every now and then. And for me, there's no part of me, and maybe it's because I wrote songs about it, there's no part of me that still wants to be with him at all. There's no part of me that still even wants to really have sex with him, or even, you know, I just want to talk to him and I want to know that he's happy, and I want him to be happy, and it's a nice feeling, you know.
And have you any idea do you have a boyfriend now?
Not really, no.
Not really.
Kind of, not really, no.
But, I mean, whenever you really fell in love again, I mean, what did you learn out of this?
Well, I haven't really met anyone serious since him. That's interesting. Yeah, I haven't really met anyone since him. So, yeah, I don't know.
Just 2 days ago or something, a German writer, a poet, really big writer in Germany, Martin Walser, I don't know whether you know him, he just said, I could never accept something in terms of friendship and love that wouldn't happen without doing me something to it. You know? What he meant to say was, I would never push to get a friend or to get a love. And I thought this is a very smart idea.
Yeah.
You know, that is always something like, you know, you need to be loved.
Yeah.
Not only to love.
Yeah.
It's both. It's
very
giving
much
and
so.
given and taken.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty close to what you experienced.
I guess so.
Yeah. When you are compared to the other, on the one hand, the new jazz people, and on the other hand, to R&B artists like, well, let's say Erykah Badu or something, how do you feel amongst all these? I mean, what do you think, for example, of Erykah Badu? Because her way of lyrics writing, it's absolutely different to your style. I mean, she's preaching and not that personal storytelling type of songwriting.
Okay, well, I guess the difference between being compared to people like Erykah and Lauryn Hill and being compared to people like Jamie Cullum and Katie and all them, you know, I am not only lucky that I've grown up around Lauryn Hill's album and around Erykah Badu's output and, you know, the Fugees, all of that. I'm not only just lucky, I'm so lucky that I was young when they come out and I grew up to it. It wasn't just something that was around while I was going out with my friends. It was around while I was trying to find out about the world. I was looking around me like trying to make sense of shit. So it's so flattering to be compared to artists like that, because that's all I had when I was growing up. And so many girls like me, exactly the same as that, you know, they were it for so many girls. So it's so flattering to be compared to them. But all the rest of them, like Jamie Cullum, you know, we all do stuff that is so different, but because we all sound older or because our style is more mature, they put us all together. And I don't think we're all jazz at all. At all. I'm a jazz singer. My music isn't jazz, though. I wouldn't say that. It's jazz influenced, but it's like beat-driven jazz. You know, Jamie Cullum, Michael Bublé, they're doing lounge singing. That's what they're doing. They're lounge singers. Michael Bublé's a lounge singer. Joss Stone is like, she's the only one out of all of them that stands anywhere different. You know, she's doing her own thing. And like, Kate...
But she doesn't write. I mean,
Joss is wicked. Joss is like, anyone who stands out to me is wicked. Like, the biggest insult out of my mouth to anyone would be, oh, you sound like anyone else. That's the biggest insult you could... You know, for me to say, Coy, you don't sound like anyone, that's a bigger compliment than me saying you're the best singer I've ever heard. You know, because like with me, I never try and be the best singer on a record. I try and be the most different. I always try and be stand out, and I try and do what is different and what hasn't necessarily been done before. So that's why Joss is wicked, you know. It's like people like Jamie Cullum and Michael Bublé got lovely voices, but they're not doing anything particularly different. They've got lovely voices though. And people like Katie Malua, I just do not understand that with the sales. Excuse me, like in America, she sold more than Jamie. I just don't understand it. She's so poor. So, yeah. Hello.
No, I lost them.
Oh.
Okay, are you already working on a new album? I guess. How many songs are you? Do you have in mind already?
Yeah, I'm about 2 songs into the next album, but you know, it's a growth. It's about growing for me. So I'll write a song and it will change about 20 times before it gets recorded. It always, you know, songs always do that. They evolve and they evolve and they evolve. Even songs that I did 4 years ago, You Sent Me Flying, it still changes. We still, you know, last new arrangement we did of, say, Take the Box, which is about 3 or 4 years old. Last new arrangement of that was only 2 months ago. Like, we do new stuff with it all the time because the songs never stop growing. You know, that's the beautiful thing about music, is it just keeps going.
And what does it need to get it in your inner voice perfect? I mean, how is the actual recording process for you to get it perfect?
I don't know, it's hard, you know. It's like I hold myself to such high standards that it is hard to... I can't give 99%. I have to give 100% in the studio. Otherwise, it's pointless me being there. It is pointless me being there. You know, I know that I'm full of good ideas, but if I work under 99%, I don't get them out. I've really got to just do it and do it and do it and do it and do it until all the ideas come out. And it's just time. It's just time. That's all I need for all this music to come out of me. It's there, but I can't just go, oh, here's 10 songs. I've got to just let it come out. And it's all there. I know it's there. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. Who are your friends supporting your own ideas, really pushing the best out of you? Not marketing you, not, bring you in a certain direction?
No one does that.
Oh, Amy.
Yeah. My friend Salam does that. He's probably the best. But even Salam, I don't know, I do it myself, you know, and I probably Salam does it. Salam does it. He's a really inspirational person, Salam. He's the kind of person, you know, like, I'll think of 20 ideas for a song, but I'll think they're all stupid, and he'll be like, no, of course that's not stupid, of course you could write that, think about this. Or I'll say an idea and then I'll go, no, that's shit, and he'll just talk about it, talk around it, and say little pretty lyric ideas around it until I go, yeah, and I start writing it down, because that's how he works. He's just wicked like that. Like, I heard Love Is Blind, I wrote because he said one thing to me. He said 5 words to me, and I was like, shh, and I wrote the whole song in about 10 minutes. He said to me, her eyes were like yours, and I was just like, her eyes were like his eyes were like yours. And then in 10 minutes I was like, I've got a song, I'm just going to go and record it. And he was like, okay, cool. And that's how you sent me, that's how I heard Love Is Blind came about.
Yeah, it's interesting.
He's a really inspirational man.
What does he have, what kind of a background does he have?
Salam his dad is Bajan. His dad lives in Barbados. His dad lives in between Barbados and Miami. I don't know about Salam's mum, but his dad was a real big record producer. He did pretty much everyone in the 60s. He used to play guitar for Harry Belafonte. His dad's an amazing guitarist. And Salam just grew up in studios. You know, he's young now. He's only 30, 31. He grew up in he just turned 32. And, you know, he grew up with musicians all around him all day, all night, you know. So that's why his studio environment is so natural. And he knows all the best musicians, and he knows how to create just a vibe in the studio.
Yeah. Okay, we have to finish, but...
okay, cool.
I would love you to do some radio IDs.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah? Okay, cool. Not everybody likes this part. All right. This is a station I'm working for, Radio 1. My show is Happy Sad.
Okay.
And this is my name, Christina Heise.
Heise.
Yeah.
Heise. I don't want to get that
Heise.
wrong.
Well, it's no problem when it's wrong. It's charming.
Okay. Radio 1, yeah?
Radio 1, yeah.
Okay. Hi, this is Amy Winehouse, and you're listening to Happy Sad with Christine Heise on Radio 1. Cool?
Good. Yeah. The other one I would love you to do is thank you for voting me Album of the Week. This is not for my show, but Radio 1, the whole station, will vote your album in September for Album of the Week.
Okay.
And maybe you could just say...
Okay, cool.
Oh, great, lovely.
Hi, this is Amy Winehouse. Thank you so much for voting me Album of the Week on Radio 1.
Perfect.
Cool.
Wonderful.
Wicked.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, I can eat my sandwich.